Hello viewers, welcome back. We are now moving on to the second part of heat. So let's start. So the topics we learn today. The first one is what is heat, what is thermal equilibrium, working of thermometer. So first let's see and get some idea about heat. So here you see a cold object which has less temperature, right? Here you see a hot object which has higher temperature. So if you place this hot object or if you make this cold object in contact with hot object, we call this contact in science as thermal contact. So you see something is flowing from this hot object to the cold object. What is it? It is energy, right? We call that energy as heat. So the energy which is flowing from the hot object to the cold object, we term it as heat. So this process of heat transfer will continue until these two bodies reach the same temperature. Initially the heat transfer will be more when the difference of temperature is more, and it will keep on reducing. The difference in temperature will also keep on reducing, and it will become 0 when the temperature difference is 0. So we call the state as thermal equilibrium, the state at which two objects or systems attain the same temperature when they are in physical or thermal contact is called thermal equilibrium. So here you see a person is shivering because his body temperature is high and his surroundings temperature is low. So the heat will transfer from him to the surroundings. That's the reason why he is feeling cool. Here you see the people are sweating off because the surroundings temperature is extremely high and their body temperature is low. So the heat will flow from the surroundings to them. That's why they are feeling hot. But in this case, this lady is feeling very pleasant. Why? Because her surroundings are pleasant and their body temperature and the surroundings temperature are equal. There will be no heat flow between them. So this state is called thermal equilibrium. So here you see three objects A, B and C. So let's first assume A and C are in thermal equilibrium. That means A and C also have the same temperature. Similarly, assume that B and C are also in thermal equilibrium. That means B and C also have the same temperature. So from this we can conclude A and B also have the same temperature. That implies A and B are also in thermal equilibrium. So if two thermodynamic systems are in thermal equilibrium with third one, then they are also in thermal equilibrium. This idea is called as zeroth law of thermodynamics. Actually, mathematically we can say that if A equals to C and B equals to C, then A and B are equal. You will know why I said this idea, okay, in the later section. Now let's discuss about units of heat. In SI system, the unit of heat is joule. In CGS system, it is calorie. We define 1 calorie as the heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram water by 1 degree centigrade. The value of 1 calorie is equals to 4.186 joules. So now you know what is heat and what are the units of heat. Now let's discuss how to measure the heat. Heat can be measured by an instrument called calorimeter. So the device that you see here is called calorimeter. So calorimeter is a simple device containing a copper vessel inside a wooden box. Now we are not going to the working of calorimeter, that we will do it in another video. So now let's discuss about working of thermometer. So the device that you see on your screen is thermometer. The liquid inside it is mercury. The reason why it is used in the thermometer is because of its high coefficient of expansion. So now the reading of the thermometer is 24 degrees centigrade. That means it is the temperature of the surroundings. Now take two vessels, one containing hot water, another containing cold water. Now place this thermometer inside the hot water. You will see the mercury inside it keeps on expanding. And the thermometer shows a reading of 90 degrees centigrade. This means, so the working of the thermometer is based on the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Already discussed it. The idea is very simple. the tube is in thermal equilibrium with the hot water, and the tube also in thermal equilibrium with the mercury. That means mercury and hot water are also in thermal equilibrium. That means they both have the same temperature. So the temperature of the hot water is equals to the temperature of the mercury. Now let's place this thermometer inside the cold water. We will observe that the mercury keeps contracting until it is showing the reading of 22 degrees centigrade. So we can say the reading of the thermometer at the state of thermal equilibrium as the temperature. Therefore, we can define temperature as a measure of thermal equilibrium. Test your knowledge you are gained today with the help of a small test. Okay. So here is the first question. The transfer of energy from the hot object to the cold object is called, this is a state definition, right? It's called heat. The second question is the state at which two objects has the same temperature is called. It's also a definition. It's a direct answer, right? It's thermal equilibrium. So let's move on to the third question. If the bodies A and B are in thermal equilibrium and the temperature of A is 40 degrees centigrade, then what is the temperature of body B? So here A and B are in thermal equilibrium. That implies A and B have the same temperature. So if A temperature is 40 degrees centigrade, then the temperature of B is also 40 degrees centigrade, right? The temperature of A and B are equal. It's obvious, 40 degrees centigrade. Let's move on to the fourth question. So if the heat transfers from a body to the surroundings, so the heat is transferring from us to the surroundings. So what we feel? Obviously we feel cool, right? Let's move on to the fifth question. The reading of the thermometer at the thermal equilibrium point determines, we already discussed it, right? This temperature. So here is the sixth question. The heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram water by 1 degree centigrade is called calorie, right? So here is the seventh question on the screen. If the temperature of A is 50 degrees centigrade and the temperature of B is 104 degree Fahrenheit, then heat transfer from dash to dash. So observe, A temperature is given in centigrade and the temperature of B is given in Fahrenheit. So first convert the temperature of A, which is in centigrades, to Fahrenheit, or you can do it either way. You can convert the temperature of B, which is in Fahrenheit, into centigrades. So now we are converting the value in Fahrenheit into the value in centigrades. So we know the relation F is equals to 9C by 5 plus 32. So substitute 50 in place of C, right? So what you get? You get 9 into 50 by 5 plus 32, which equals to 90 plus 32, which is 112. So 50 degrees centigrade is equals to 112 degree Fahrenheit. So here temperature of A is greater than temperature of B, right? So the heat will transfer from A to B. So here is the eighth question on the screen. What can be called as measure of thermal equilibrium? The answer is obvious, right? Temperature. So let's move on to ninth question. Why mercury is used in the thermometer? It's because it has high coefficient of expansion. So here is the 10th question. Heat SI units are joule, right? So what is the CGS unit? It's calorie, right? So the 11th question asks, what is the value of 1 calorie? So we already discussed, right? 4.186 joules. Heat is measured in calorimeter, right? So here is the end of the second part of heat lesson. Thank you for watching the video. If you haven't watched the first part, the link is in the description. Go and watch it. So if you like our content, share with your family and friends. Thank you.